This is Jason Bischoff back on the No Name Morning Show for Hook FM. Winter Jam is coming this Sunday. A lot of great artists going to be there, and I have one of them with me today with Artist on the Hook, Jason Castro. Jason, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm really good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Man, I am glad to have you here with me. Of course, a lot of great musicians coming, artists coming to Atlanta, Georgia, and you are one of them. And what's it been like so far for you to be on this Winter Jam tour? I heard it's been selling out every night.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Just a lot of people have been coming out, and it's just a sweet time. It's really something I'm so thankful to be a part of, and to be able to connect with so many people every night, and the camaraderie backstage is just amazing. We're just having a great time.
I've heard you guys had some good times backstage, and of course, you know all about being backstage with big events. 2008, you were an American Idol, third runner-up. What was it like for you to go from American Idol, and all things with television, to now on tour with, of course, great artists like Toby Mac and New Song and Matthew West? From going from, I guess, watching TV or listening to these artists to being on stage at American Idol now on tour. What's that like for you?
It's something very familiar. I actually, my first tour I did was with American Idol, and we played all these same arenas, and we actually had the same catering company, which is funny. So I walked in the first day, and I instantly knew somebody, even though I knew nobody else. So it's all, very familiar. Only this time around have a lot more great company. So there's nobody else I'd rather be traveling with. It really is a great crew back there.
Now, of course, you've got a brand new album out, only 3 weeks ago, released, Only a Mountain, which I know we're playing a lot here at Hook FM. Great song, but tell us about that album as well.
Thanks. Well, I've been telling people it's very much a snapshot of the last few years of my life and what's gone on and what I've been through and how God's carried me through all of it. And because my debut album came out in 2009, and so I had a lot of time, been writing, and a lot of life experience. Since my first album, I got married and have a baby girl now, and just a lot of things happening. And so I just kind of took all my stories and put them down in song. And my hope is that it would encourage people along their journey.
Well, there was something I seen that on your Facebook page, anyways. It said you want to write simple. A goal is to create songs that grab you by the soul and make you feel. Explain that a little bit.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the reason I started writing songs. I grew up playing drums and being in bands and stuff, but around the time I was 18, I was doing these long drives to college and started listening to music outside of the drums and started hearing words and melodies and really started being moved by this stuff. And, I fell in love with that, the way that words and music come together to make you feel. And, I just remember listening to songs and I would feel such conviction or such, even sometimes sadness or anything. And that just became my goal. I think that's what music is for, to give us an experience and to inspire us in our own lives. And so yeah, that's my goal.
Now, looking at your new album, Only a Mountain, that's out right now. Of course, that song we're playing a lot. You released as a single first. But what's another song on your album that you're really trying to talk about right now?
One highlight that I think is really cool this week is one of my favorites. But there's a duet on the album with a new artist named Mariah Peters. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the music, but she's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
And it might be my favorite song on the album because it's just a stripped down acoustic guitars and some strings, and it's a song called The Same Kind of Broken, and it's a special song the way that one came to be. So yeah, check it out.
I will. I'll check that out. I haven't heard that artist before, but I love playing new artists here at Hook FM. I mean, that's what we're all about, is help you guys get started here at the radio station, and we love doing that. And I love finding about new artists, especially ones you guys like as well. Artists have already established themselves a little bit, so
check her out.
I'll look into that. Now, let's talk about this a little bit as well. You mentioned a few minutes ago that, of course, Winter Jam, you guys have been selling out. You guys do something outside the stadium, which I thought was pretty neat. What are you guys doing? Say maybe you guys sell out and there's a few thousand people outside. What do you do about that?
Yeah, well, we've started to set up a little PA system outside and a little stage if we can find one, and what we'll do is throughout the night we'll take turns coming out while we're not on stage. We'll come out and do an acoustic performance each of the acts tries to come out and do a little something. So it's actually always kind of a really cool thing, a really special time to see everything just stripped down and still thousands of people even outside a lot of times. And, we just definitely want everyone to feel appreciated. We're thankful that everybody came out. And so we've taken to the streets.
I love it. Winter Jam on the streets. You got to love it.
Yeah.
And there's something else I've heard. I've talked with Billy Godwin from New Song and also Matthew West, and they were mentioning to me, you guys do something that you call Jam Church. Now, you do this on Sundays at 11 o'clock, he said, normally, sometimes earlier, but you take one of the artists and different ones lead the worship. Talk about that a little. What's that all about?
Yeah, well, I think it's just a part of being a family and sharing the load on the road, So each week, Jam Church is always a highlight of my week. There's always a great word spoken there, and it's always great to get to worship to one of these. It's great to see them all week on stage, singing and doing this thing, and then to kind of come in a different context than just the room and to sing worship. It's a special thing.
I know I definitely enjoy that, and looking forward to that. A great worship time that you as an artist to get together and you know what, bond together as a group, then also kind of share and have church, because sometimes on the road, you don't always get to go to church on Sunday morning.
Yep, never actually. So very rarely are we home on a Sunday.
Speaking today with Jason Castro with Artist on the Hook today. Now, Jason, if you don't mind anyways, I would love to ask you some fun questions, let her listen more about you if you don't mind anyways.
Sure.
All right, let's go ahead and do it with Artist on the Hook. First question I've got for you. Of course, you're on American Idol, and you know how the media goes crazy about things sometimes and how voting is and different things like that. But what is your favorite social network? What's your favorite social network?
I like the simplicity of Twitter, and I kind of like the depth of Facebook. I think Facebook I use more to keep up with family and close friends, but Twitter is a pretty functional way to keep up with, there's a lot of companies or people that I'm just interested in to see what they're doing on a daily basis. And I don't know what my preference is.
So kind of what you said is a little bit Facebook is personal side, and then your Twitter would be more of your kind of artist side. And
even not so much that, but like quicker versus deeper, because sometimes it's good to have quick info. Even I collect quick info from people and family and friends. And that's what I mean. Facebook just feels like a deeper conversation that's happening.
I love it. Love it. Speaking with Jason Castro here with Artist on the Hook. Now, next question I've got for you, a hidden talent. Is there a hidden talent you got? I mean, number one, how do you keep them long hair like you do? I mean, that's a talent to me. I mean, how long have you grown that hair? But just on a side note, how long have you that hair take to grow out like that?
It's been 8 years, and
wow.
I don't deserve too much credit because you don't really do anything. But no real secret talents. I mean, I grew up playing drums. It's usually a surprise to most people. That was my first instrument, so about 5 years ago. And other than that, I don't know. I like to draw and paint.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, that's kind of a secret talent. I won a few art shows back in my day.
Nice. That's a good. And I can see that. I can just see with the how your music is and the style of music you bring across. I can see in depth into writing and having been an artist anyways and doing that with paints. I can see that.
Yeah, all right.
Next question I've got for you, of course, if I was to give you 2 movie passes, you can go see any kind of movie you want to see, action movie, comedy movie, romantic movie. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. And you can take somebody else with you. Now, I am going to put a disclaimer. Your wife's out of town. You can't take your wife. So it's got to be sorry, man. That's the easy one. Everybody guesses. And I know you're, not long been married. Got a child.
You don't know what a treat that is because we never get to go to movies these days with my daughter.
Really? Okay. Well, then take your wife.
But no, I'll definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I'll play along.
Okay.
One person. Well, for sure it would be an action movie. I love action. When
right.
You got to fight for something. I love that.
Okay. I can see that.
And maybe preferably set in a historic context because I always loved that too. Seeing how people portray the past, like The Gladiator is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes. Oh, I love that movie. Great. And Lincoln too. If you haven't seen Lincoln yet, it's another good movie. That's it's got the historic past of Abe Lincoln. I love it.
All right, so I'm going to see Abe Lincoln with
I feel like we're playing Clue right now. I don't know why. I just like you're in the dining room with a candlestick.
That did sound like Clue. I'd probably just take my dad.
Your dad. Okay. All right.
Yeah, and go see a movie with my dad.
Love it. Okay, next question I've got for you. Now, anywhere you want to go to eat now, what would be your favorite road food? And when you're on the road, what kind of food do you like to eat?
Did you say I can go anywhere I want?
Anywhere you want to go. That's right. Anywhere, but the price is not an object.
But it doesn't have to be like in the city, like exclusive.
No.
I can have it shipped in from anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what we're saying here?
It's open. It's free game.
Lately, my food of choice. Well, the last place I ate at that I was just like blown away by.
Yeah.
Was this little barbecue place in Tyler, Texas. It turns out to have been voted best barbecue in Texas for a couple of years now, and the food was just ridiculously good. The ribs. I actually ate there for lunch 2 days in a row. I was only there for 2 days. It was that good. But actually, typically barbecue. If I get a brisket sandwich, that might be my favorite road food anytime.
So you like old country food, huh?
Yep.
Now, where are you originally?
Cheese.
Oh yeah. So where are you originally from?
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay. So that's why you picked that. Okay, I see now. You got a little Texas flavor going on there. Next question.
Don't let the dreads fool you.
I was wondering. I was like, all right, now the dreads. I wouldn't have picked Texas, but hey, you know what? I love it. Good stuff here. Hanging out with Jason Castro with Artist on the Hook. Now, is there any pre-performance rituals? Anything you do before you go on stage? Is there something that you do? What is it? Or do you have anything?
God, I just try to make sure I have everything. I'm usually running a little late, sprinting to the stage. But no, every day I do 45 minutes of warm-ups, vocal warm-ups. And, I guess there's not much of a ritual, but I guess I kind of do the same thing every day. After I get dressed, I go and tune up my acoustic. And at that same point, I grab my in-ear monitors because they stay in the acoustic case and run them through my shirt and kind of do all that and then wait for them to go on.
Wait for you to say, your turn. Next.
Yep.
Looking forward to that. Jason Castro with Artist on the Hook got one more question for you, and it's a fun question I always like to ask different folks. And I'm going to ask you this. If your life was a flash for your eyes, what would be the two highlights? Two highlights of your life that you've got. If something, you've seen a lot of things. You've been involved with American Idol. You recently got married. You've had a child. Salvation. Many things you can choose from, but two things would you choose?
Wow.
Anything, man. Because I know you've seen a lot. And how old are you, by the way?
I'm 25.
25. Okay. All right. So
I still got the memories to make. But
that's right.
I would one would just be any morning at home with my daughter. And just what happens in those mornings with her crazy hair, my wife and I just there in the living room. We're still, we just marvel at her. We love everything she does. So I think that would be one of those priceless memories. And, another one, this is interesting. The thought that just came to mind. This is so weird. I don't know why this came up, but it must be special if I thought of it. But there was one of my brother's birthday. We got him a digital camera when he was probably like 10 or something.
Yeah.
And he was so excited. And that might be just a memory from my childhood that I would love to keep to see, whenever everybody was happy. I loved seeing them happy. And, I was just getting old enough to really, I don't know, I just love that. That's the other memory that came to mind, those two.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I love going down memory lane with folks. I really do. It's always fun. Because you never know what you're going to come back and pull up. But hanging out with Jason Castro with, of course, Artist on the Hook. You guys are going to be at Winter Jam this Sunday. Looking forward to seeing you guys up there. Jason, as always, thanks for stopping by here with me.
Thank you very much.